na de chance one say or the nipa bebre na dua oman mu na oman ya chede bebre sa chede bi ne koko achede bi ne sika kokko de nchemmo timba ene de keka ho nanso no se yehwa eka yebo sa achede hu no edoso eche mfaso a ebre eyare hosem oman ebekọ nanimu a enye MPP enye NDC enye akuadonko anase enyom mu bia oman be ya ejemeno se wotuwe ankrankre edien na woye ama oman akọ nanim so oman hu hia ho oti hei oyo abanjuma yeni ebreben na osori ko adwuma abanjuma yeni tumi da mpama mane bono no so epam no down da ho efise enye ono dia eya aban dia na aya na areho se yede sobo ni nyina bo aban no na mum yendwene se oman ne be ya eyemeno mumie fansiye miefa hoden akukuduro enko emma dachi yenchirima ebeba no omo nso ebenya bebipa esi na omo ammo yensobo yeye oman mai yemo ehomodin na yenre ye ho nyema oman no ehia ye ne beye ye o enye ye o efrimi no edamos
etiefo ni ahwefo braso se yedi dwumadi hihye so yew ene yangasam ne den yerehwe another education reform in the offing. What are the expectations? Say na medi kan ka kire mo no yanga ye reforms asakra suku komu ne adesua ho ensam wo men ha yemma mpanin owura Dramani Mahama watu ku bi se wonhwe na yenhwe reforms yenhwe se nsakra bi beboa yen na mpanimfo ba betranse ahwehwem na ansa na wo be yesa adwuma no wo be di sa adwuma yenso azie tu me kire yen adwene kakra na yehwe se na yebekwa afa ne aninti yen asem edopon so baakon enwani na mpanimfo a yato nsa afra won obaako ne Dr. Wiafe Akenten yew opening no oye vice dean University of Ghana na osan ye psychologist oye social psychologist won sa suku sam no ho niam no wodi makoten pa opening okan ye ho bio ye Dr. Jonathan Ochre Asante ono kirade wo University of Cape Coast won suku sam what ya se papa yew ono yebe hunu wo Zoom ene Wiafe Akenten de yebeten nkan o telephone so nia odi so eye yenwura Angel Kabonu na oye Nagrat president National Association of Graduate Teachers wo Ghana ha no won paninga oda no ni yew nia odi so ye Dr. Vladimir Entwidanso oye director and a dean of Ghana Armed Forces Command and Staff College na opening no akwadare wo school semu onankasa nso ye train teacher fi Abetifi Training College eninti na mbanimfu ya hie eye enijesam nia oka ho bio eye Honorable Joseph Kwame Kuma opening oye MP wo Kintampo North na osanso ye member our Education Select Committee of Parliament wakwadare adwuma mu pa wa ben nti ye kan suku adesua ho nsam dia ene ye mpanimfu yi wobeka bibi a kire na so opening owura Kwame Kuman wakwadare adwuma mu Parliament papa fei na owura Kwame Kuma o studio ha yo opani o kan ho ye Mr. Muhammad Afum oyobi a waba ahomgem oye pensioner na oye journalist osanso ye parent yo anunti osha obroni bekese stakeholders our education mun nipa aku ene won etiti won anu a wo hwe se enwume di wowom pa wa ha wotu ani a yo eza ne se akwaniaba na aboa ne de nwene nti mpanimfu ni bi wo ha wo kasa wo bekasa kakra bi na won akọ na ebi abehye won anem opanin ba ko a oba abehye won anem ene doctor Professor Abavari na ono ochirade wo Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology no no nso bresemu no oba kasa kakra yo enunti mentua nkum asobua dwumadi na fiase anen moma memre studio na menimpanimfu ahia wa hai mefi nkomo na ase honorable akwaba yo honorable ha Mr. Fum akwaba yo say ye be ase na honorable why select committee member of parliament mona ngumesua no mo hye dwen ho wo parliament muku pa bribia mo ho honorable ya ye reforms wo Ghana betuma me history kakra about reforms na afi nkomo mfiase
yo mamenfa kwanya na menchia atiefo nyina tuturu panel members ani mo be dwane ye later ewo zoom any phone so me chia Ghana man me chia kentampo man o asoma me parliament na me chia me ranking member of education honorable Nochu for now my friend ranking because I feel a committees no say say nyame adema me say obeche education committee no ewo parliament because a free opposition na ya baba mu a afi dane ache ye ne ye beche na afi opposition no akọ ranking side nti for now my friend ranking answer omodi ni sisu wi ana madam chairman my friend chairman of the education select honorable Nochu me da se eno na me panyi na nka wono ana eso ha I'm saying that wasanya another important program equally important na say odu ho entem maybe your question no so say reforms are ya beye I'm say nyina obi beka say ya ni yade nyina ya ni tua because say mrebi ya Kwame Nkrumah mre nyina yenim senior educational issues here na say northern sector no na say be ehiane no mantino amamo that free education akra ye guso beba ye papa samikai a champion no omo beye ne say yensan enkoye nim na tuturu rode semre na yebinim nyini ya bedu ya hu say reforms I buy holding de na say every junior high school enwo workshop senior and there until from sa workshop system na yebe wono na or transit education into technical and vocational education njo sha NDC muno yebe ma yebe bo abodin krata ma polytechnics say yenya polytechnics say o from JSS no na ensahu adwuma na ese yesua homo you be build workshops, carpentry shops, ma junior high school bia nti entwaso one ye polytechnics ya papa Rollins odi be jina say ye mfantwaso na o hwe ya papa atame is late ya me fa omo nyina kransi Rollins na atame ani jo mama first term omo be ma polytechnics no so say they call technical universities then any training colleges yes enjoy certificate awarding family diploma na fi enkayenji student loan say samre no communication no na enchiremu na ntimi ankoyie na Ghanaian student bufu yes say ombetua free sidia and the aban no ye wona tiko because binum be promise allowance nso so ka o hwe mramu a na se wo free certificate awarding to diploma ne other tertiary normal ye de bekeka ho a na nka so obi an shifting ko student loan mranum no because untimi nko so NG allowance whilst you are doing tertiary program and nka ebeka say university so nje de university students so NG your friends allowance until by a honchire mu no na ya aban em say ensa sen ka ye transiting kan yo system mu no ka ye ma omum em face out NG allowance no face out no ya nya ho enchire mu yi e ma student bufu ye ma omo ka say nana do no emra aban mu na omo emmekoso nana do no ba no em say article 38(1)b and say ye can efa ye constitution no can about basic education na say 21 article 21 or so and so can about free progressively free secondary technical education actually say into free school no na ka free compulsory universal basic education FQ no actually say nsesa ye be ja akola bia wachi esa akola bia wo hye tokuro mu bia wo Ghana no ye mra makwan say say aban ma no onya kwan ko school say school infrastructure ana edan a school dan enwo bia ensese mpaboa nti akola bia bekachi ensese nkonwa ese wo school mu nti akola bia beka se meni akonwa nti menko school ensese aduane nti am say no ya papa president kofo ya be sha se wo school feeding na am say se ma memory session wa NDC so ba e to aso nti ko na later na NDC aban no ye ni say omo free exercise book free uniform empaboa na omo de ma omo even teachers but teachers are ye ni say omo laptops now nti NDC aban no hwe ye nyina na akwai say ye shemu kena dendende until from those laptops and they transit into your papa duchum numre ya no mo so teacher for no nyeden ento laptops ye nyina ye nim nia ACC ye enti say come back to free progressively technical and vocational education na ho no ye NDC for ye de ne say ye nya abotre ye nsisi a school adan and I am my vice president Professor Jenana and your vice no on education minister ye nua black one ye papa lecturer ndi nachi ndo hwe ya na ye hyase se se ne ebe ye obi anka chi no na school adan so enwo ba bia na akola bia nyam nko even secondary school level no eba no se ye nsisi school adan akese ho na e-blocks no wo hwe e-blocks man hene so pa e-block school dan fefe adwo mama no musiye na ni senka kuro bia so no yemfa school dan nkosi kuro no mfimfin eni kuro mienu mfimfin ba bia efiefo ana nyinam kane akora ntimi anko ne yantwe nko ebema kuro na atradu ho na yenye no bebre no nye day schools na nka ye de buses bus akese bema school bia enti buses no be fa nkrofo no from your friend saying nkuro no so e de akọ school no mu aja o ma aduane 1 meal na afi ade san o ma san twe o ma akofie na nka educational budget no ana sika nka ye de bebo akohomama education no na nka abofam kakra na se bio na boarding schools no nka ye tesoa no ko ba bia na NDC yadwen ewo no de kono no na aja fofi anto ata na nanado omampanyi nanado ni na ban say free education immediately na yem exercise yem atifo so kai say na His Excellency Dramani Mahama sa progressive free secondary technical education no omo launch e wo ye papa ata school samre na wo de shase say yen kono kakra na later nanado say it's just like independent ye papa Kwame say here and now na papa nanado say yenya ne prekompe na yɛde free senior high no ba kiti a sebi akoye sɛ sebi metimi aka sɛ mampa amerika kakra na ne nsunsu aso obeye bebree bi ne double track system ebi sɛ traffic school kola no omunya ba bi na my educational calendar no be disrupted na yɛhu kola no ba kura yɛnim mmra omudi ko school yɛnim na ni omukɔ single track no omunya more contact hours and now teacher for kyerɛ omo ade kyɛsen ni ana omo boarding schools no nti na ama normal be bebree nti ende doctor say NDC aban a yasen ababium ya kyerɛ your manifesto mu say based on some of the challenges a yahu educational system na asen akoyachi na se bi wo hwɛ na bibia so educational budget no more than 100% of allocation no echo free senior high mu meanwhile na basic education no na ya jano adajamu in the sense Dr. Mikai a infrastructure no not less than 5,400 dilapidated structures any a basic school side ho. These are figures from Oxfam, Edu Watch Ghana and Edu Africa Institute. Metako omo programs here and almost ni ombe bia na omoma yensaka omo NGOs CSO sa omoma yensaka ni omusu hu about education na ni ebe ka ho so ne numbers no a ye volumes no na san koma ye quality nso nimdie no baabi wo ho a ya kofam kakra baabi a mo ya ade kase mostly na ye private schools or private schools no omo nyamre mankola no omo ndoso santi omo control bibia from KG to whatever but now abind there no nyukure say access ebe ye bebre in a way sa na ye beka no because abind ka say free sina no but na eno so won nsunsu aso aminim say ye to aso no ye de eni bi beba abeka
honorable asida wo de what to me de yang afa history ni mu ma memra Mr. Fumo reforms ya say no honorable amen history nyina why be natural wo den wo ho
your chairman doc me that say enukre say campaign time no
Mr. Fum mpacho begina so kakra ma me na menko Angel Kabonu ho miwura machie Angel Kabonu miwura Mr. Kabonu yo Mr. Fum mpacho to awasam so
yo campaign time no omampani edito obo entwase o nyamyam adom na se oba obeye reforms kakra but na amanfo pi no adwene se challenges ana SSS ekum no se eduan double track se ne honorable kan ye no na access no na amanfo pi se eno ene bia oba obeye no asesem nenso se wohwe ade statement a minister ede bae na se e be launch committee no a oka se president Mahama omampani Mahama on the plan is person or revamp education sector no now address these challenges in there say enye ade a SSS challenges nko but the whole education sector into but now in say ayofo e ofidie no say oka say o address challenges of education sector in ade papa na sane honorable kan ba history no person de kakra bi ka ho and he say after independence you say na challenges in education sector no pi na north ho say manfo ntimi because na development gap no mu wapa enti secondary school kura project ma ba na what no training college according to opening bia say mu wie mo fra wie school primary school no wie na colon inspector no wa be first three ni educate tamale training college wie at the said bi na onya into yehwe most politicians na ewo north now parliament na P certificate no said before because na development gap na ewo ho no na so pa go hwe so na down ha no bibi say fancy peminum about 1876 na start here na challenge no nti Kwame Asah say education act no behwe na why did na free education uniforms and scholarships say na omso be catch up Kwame Asah so free so no ade Jobo committee bi nso bae na ono nso the reform oyeye no and say university system na 17 years no on the by 13 years and na on recommend say at the experimental schools be yen start say implementation no so amanfo pii say reforms no entimi anko yie papa enemu no na at the 1987 so aye at the friends saying PNDC and say reform CB and the GSS by and also the reforms no and by university education no pre-tertiary pre-university about 12 years na man for because that reform no crampo no na on say triggered by economic recovery program we don't feel say or say IMF want to say Ghana for no you spend too much time school mu I know so the eka ebro man into it so about 12 years
Sampacho sum na menko Mr. Angel Kabunu Mr. Kabunu good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Mpacho mutreng
Boko.
Yo. Mr. Kabunu ne yehwe educational reforms na nkomo na fiase yehwe the history of it ene ehwo nioma. Honorable Amayen, a little history about reforms no ene ho nioma. Den na wo de be kan na fi ufi wa kire what triggered reforms.
Well, thank you. Reform is a part of life.
Yeah.
And a sector like education, dear, it has to go through regular review and regular reform because Yamana is in 1951. And yes, I'm Yamanona, yes, and then so kaya missionaries, establishing schools, Ghana to kickstart education around the castle schools, Now, aim was not for industrial development. Aim was to teach people who can read and write English language and communicate to ensure, say, trading and in Yamama course number 2, so that they can also spread the gospel of the missionaries. That was what it was. So most of the educated people were aiming to become catechists, were aiming to be preachers, missionaries, and all that. If you are about God's back, maybe not God's back, who said no. So education now, or only manu. Yes, but it was also identifying the needs and satisfying the needs of the country. So Godgisbeck introduced even certain vocational subjects, especially for girls, and gave incentive to mission schools who will embrace on only introductions, and give them some incentive. About 1951 till today, Jobo Committee, different reforms. Let us not forget, we are in a technological age, technology that is moving very, very, very fast. In fact, AI, we are hearing that there are more efficient variations of AI. With this AI age, the way we teach students, the way we assess students, are we going to still maintain that old assessment today? And remember, KDB, very controversial, but let me say it. Today, the way we allow children to come to school with pen and pencil, maybe we should start allowing them to come to school with their mobile phones. That is the technology. That is the age. The mobile phone now is a store of information. So we need to look at all aspects of our education. Right now, we are running about 70% of our schools are boarding schools. Are we going to continue running the boarding school system? Or we have to ensure that no child walks more than 3 kilometers to a secondary school? And if we say we want to do that, do we even have the resources for that massive educational infrastructure development? Some of the subjects and topics are they relevant for today's age, today's needs? Because even cars are no longer the type of engine we knew 20 years ago. Cars have brains. Cars have brains. And it is more computerized, even if it is internal combustion engine. It is very computerized. So mechanics need their training, their education, they cannot handle certain cars. And I know electric cars, airbag. Now communication. Today, a lot of people who are getting their masters and their PhDs, they are getting it online. I did my master fully online from Turin University in industrial relations. Pure online. Initially, I was having serious difficulties because now I'm too used to the online thing. I was more of a teacher standing in front of me. But that was the reality. So question now, you may misunderstand. Are we going to continue the way we are going? In the United States of America, every lecturer of a university is mandated to upload his lesson notes on Blackboard. So you can be in Purdue University and you can access information in political science or in economics from University of Colorado or whatever it is. So education reform, no dear, it is part of life. We will have to take it seriously, very seriously. But what I would like to say is that you cannot have a successful education reform without going to the people, the chiefs, the churches, the communities, the teachers, even the students and parents. So we have an educational reform document. I am ready to implement. So, and then some kakra education reform.
Yo, Mpacho, I agree on so better. Mammy Missao, or the water education match. I am more reforms now. As stakeholders in Muma won't be mana, teachers, parents, guardians, professionals, and one yama. What the one can wana? Now, what the one can I didn't know, yeah, course, reforms and that's
Oh, no. You see, after the reforms, you can never say you have a best reform document into where it's not possible. It's not possible. Okay, mpacho minimum age day, but okay, at time you school, you cannot take a calculator to the examination hall.
Yo.
Sophia, you can take a calculator to the examination hall.
That's happening. You use logbooks. Yes.
Thank you very much. Logarithms and all that. And then the children take an even scientific calculator. What do you call exam hall? Those days, you don't have the right to do that. And if you want a formula, a chemical formula, you just press your phone. Formula for hydrochloric acid, I'm out. So the question is that should we still continue memorizing formulas in our head when the formulas are available to us anytime we want? So, for reform, maybe it is not as to say, yeah. It is something that regularly or mind via Finland. I want the policy to be by every child should have a laptop. So handwriting was no longer necessary. Just last year, they have changed that policy. When we say the withdrawal of handwriting is affecting the children. So they reversed that policy just last year. So regularly, there should be reform going on. At the end of the day, education, and yet teacher for so a teacher or educationist cannot monopolize education. Our folk community leaders, media men and women, that is the nature of education. Education is not an exclusive activity for those who practice in the education field. Well, so I think, you accept that reality that if you want to match up in this kind of changing world, a world that is changing very fast, very alert, and reform higher education when it is necessary. We are too conservative. And one of the people we must blame any professors in the university. They are too static for my liking.
I didn't hear.
Oh, look, when reforms were taking on in universities outside, in our place, who introduce BBR, you see, you get be a young, vibrant lecturer in any of our universities, and you want to introduce changes in any of the faculties, and see the obstacles that you are going to face.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I am not university also allow which reforms are to say Eugene a lot departments and you are allowed to go develop courses and all that. Yes.
Let me give you an example.
Yeah.
Why is the University of Ghana not having at least 40% online teaching and 60% face-to-face?
Yeah, what?
In this day and age.
Yeah, online teaching.
What is the percentage?
Oh, I know they meaning, but say online teaching. Online teaching. Online a lot of. In fact, young programs are hybrid now. You do part of online, you do part of what face-to-face. It's a lot. Young examination, hybrid like that. Until now, no. Legon miles ahead in terms of these things I'm talking to you about. Yes.
Okay, I stand corrected though, but I think that we could have had a situation where a lot more students could access courses. When we introduce technology. But I stand corrected. I am not an epitome of knowledge when it comes to these things. I stand corrected too, but we could do more. We could do, because you see, our colleagues outside Ghana are taking money from us here. We're paying them a lot of dollars and pounds sterling to access online programs. And we could have been giving that money to our universities in Ghana to access online programs. So maybe as reforms go on, maybe people have to look at it from that angle also. And they upload so much information on the platform that you are doing the courses to the extent that they make the information available to you, books available to you. You go onto the online library and so on and so forth. And we are paying them so much dollars, and they are taking them. People are doing master's programs, they are paying about 7,000 euros and things like that. And if we have that money to the University of Ghana, the University of Ghana will transform immediately, So, yes, and then again, reform, so can I say, what standard of infrastructure it qualifies to be called a school? So, for example, we call Keta, and they say Keta Basic School, and now we call Mampom Basic School. Structure na ewo hono. is it qualified to be called a basic school? So there should be standards that should be established that qualifies a place to be called a school. For example, is it proper, say a Fred baby school, and there is no washroom for boys and girls? And even if there is washroom, what type of washroom do we have? Is it a washroom that prevents disease or that encourages the contamination of disease and so on? And also say who qualifies to be a teacher? What should be the level of content? What level of content knowledge should he acquire in the subject area that he is teaching? And what percentage should be methodology? So this content methodology argument, we have to solve it. Some people go to the teaching colleges and all that they come home with is methodology. But when it comes to the area of content, we said they are very deficient in the area of content. And that is also affecting our students' performance in the school. Now, some people also are very good at content, but they don't know the strategies and methodology to impact knowledge. That is also something that we have to look at. So it ought to be a very comprehensive reform that we are looking at.
Yeah. Answer meba o hobio na answer meba menka etiefu nkanchiro se nkomoi ekoso angel na Mr. Kabonu na mepese meka no se Legon no there were a lot of reforms ayapa hybrid na mekan ye pa ye examination ye hybrid wom ye teaching ye hybrid online me lectures bebre bi okra metimifi and we do that and if now okra na interesting it's a PhD kan ye tumi twa ticket mancro for external examiners and now what baha babisa questions no now yeah online and the university will not even pay them any plane fare no honiama hotel no, and then they are there. And then recently I chaired one a PhD viva and then external examiners were all over the world at Yan Kasa in the reforms no course but in common bed memory studio na memra Mr. Fumo.
Yeah, Angela na reforms no dey send the idea here life no sanity na me say reforms are here be no e say you say but I be empower na dey nim I dey say
me to create
reforms political expediency and I say
real time we scanning to create we need him
reforms. Ya na ye bu eni egu so ni mesre say reforms enye area bi a ebema ya twen ye bu nkompo akra say ye wekuo bi o ga National Development Planning Commission and say a plan development agenda for the country na mesre say reforms say what was that name ye hwe say it will be led by this NDPC and say ye jama politicians because ya hwe ni ye pe na akoye problem party bi ba okope ne beba no ose onye bio indi etimi NDPC e the agenda bi beto ho na say nyina buy into it na say ye implement here ne hu say oman no bejan faso afri ho enti mesre say omampani ikoya wati stakeholders meeting no enye all embracing inclusivity political parties religious bodies say yɛmfa sɛ ɛnyɛ ɔman no nyinaa yɛnkɔhyia yɛntoato adwen na ne yɛbɛsi gyinaeɛ no yɛmfa nyɛ adwuma a yɛkɔba ne sɛ yɛbɛyɛ election kora mpo a manifesto a party bɛyɛ no it must be based on this National Development Planning Commission agenda anyɛ saa yɛbɛkɔ weba na wabɛyɛ weba na wɔyɛ na afɛ ɛnɛma no ɛba saa nti sɛ ne mɛsrɛ na obiara nso fa n'adwen mmra na sɛ agenda na ɛbɛsɛte no na based on which yɛbɛyɛ reforms ɛwɔ various sectors no ɛnyɛ adeɛ a the country bɛ own obi ka kyerɛ me sɛ countries bi wɔ hɔ a even education kura mpo no wɔn de family planning tool sɛ wɔn ma mmɔfra no ɛtena school mu kyɛ nti ebere time bi a time wɔn bɛba out no na time a wɔn ka sɛ wɔn awo time no na ɛso ate time bi a wɔn population no ɛda a certain level ebetumi adwene sɛ nneɛma no nti mɛsrɛ sɛ some of these things yɛbɛsrɛ sɛ NDPC ebetumi lead sɛ nneɛma yi na political parties na ya buy into it ne yɛ deɛ ɛyɛ adwuma nti ɛnya deɛ bi a party bi bɛba abɛka sɛ obi a yɛbɛ sɛ as time goes on no na yɛ implementing reforms no NDPC any stakeholders no education ministry any others no professionals nyinaa no along the line issues bi ba a wɔn dwe ho wie a then aba no implement yɛn twɛn ɛma politics ɛmma ansa bɛka sɛ yɛbɛ reforms nti mɛsrɛ sɛ ɔmampanin ekuo yi a wate a wɔn bɛyɛ adwuma plan national education forum yi ɛbɛyɛ biribi a ɛnyɛ so-called political partisan na ɛnyɛ a national agenda bi ɛbɛyɛ meka sɛ mmerɛ a NDC1 ɛyɛ vision 2020 meka sɛ NPP for opposition wɔn feel sɛ they didn't have any buy-in nti mmerɛ NPP ba office no the first thing statement that JHMS make vision 2020 is dead ɛno ano na yɛde kɔtoo baabi ɛna afei bi ba yɛ sɛ medium term something ɛho hwanyan nti yɛsrɛ sɛ saa de ɛnyɛ beginning of nneɛma bi a ɛbɛyie na yɛmfa ɔman no nyinaa nka bom na biribi a ɛbɛn ɛnyɛ na education reforms a President Mahama astart no ɛnyɛ baabi a ɛbɛlead into reforms in other areas ɛne the fashioning of a national agenda a ɛbɛfollow.
Yo, yeah, that's member honorable reforms are my ye mopeza mo ye den na mahu amofo say there's a need for us to change it den na enko ye over the years was a TVET education was a move from grammar education to vocational me ameti me call JSS na me call sa experimental JSS oko after class 6 obako form 1 form 2 form 3 na wako secondary school form 3 na what you me sa product in me okay me wie JSS 1981-82 you call sectech 83 from 1982 to 85 then sakrai be briabem near workshop yes then na mahu inti na mo pesa mo sakram
yo mami kwa kanya na me da wase na me ansa na me ba ho no me kyerɛ mesrɛ sɛ metimi aka bibi kakra
you ne awo bia mesrɛ obetimi de aka
when it comes to NDC metimi ade mensasi me bo sɛ yeah, reforms are include the whole nation. At least, but that I young Kaikra Senche report. Okay, say Senche. You invite Ubia or Ghana say Yemra, Nyambedrin Ghana home. Osha na union MPP for and for Muhu Anjimu. Na ye papa Kwame Piani. Enkwane na oye nipa wo free eho ekọ ye metima ka se wo kọ no as wonoa ne capacity. Now look at the brilliant things Century report the beboaye my create sinking fund say na sika bi benyunu agumu ama ye dia abo bosuane ye bo from ama foforo so no mapa e free mu be say if my memory serves me, not less than 320 million dollars a nana do beto ya ye de bi koboa COVID-19 sensem so ahu nso nti se ba NDC ne na mambuo se yem frɛ mpanyinfo ne yem mekira adwen a em se omoye amanyoku a ye betima agi omo atum na reform so ye be next round about education meba ne awkasa dinti na pese ye no mesre se mane nkoye professors any doctors any ayinko a yemfa awofo a sebi omo ye nkuro nketewa so enka ho because 1992 constitution aye no dada onim ne ye carpenters market women handcraftsmen any edi kan ho ema ye nya constitution fefefe yi aye nyina ye di bu man do ye se du ba bi ye se ye san sakramu yi nti reform bi e beba this time no me foa masa Muhammad ye no so se aja Muhammad ye no so se yema ultimately let me use that word ultimately National Development Planning Commission in take charge so that my panyi bi afoforo ba daachi a manom be ka say me sign come back to adefoforo anya sa man no achi a ne yeko yaba yes agenda 20 vision 2020 no ma fefefe a yedi okwan mu obi ba o so yatu ago ya san hyase abaye no ma gugu fam enya e-blocks emfa e-blocks ne no ma enkoso na science home economics bibia enkoso wa mia bia ye ba ye obi se ma media gu fam me stem me cost stem ye curriculum ayewo ye se ya be sakra no new curriculum no so textbooks ama no ma bebre asisi enti because of these problems no ena NDC eba outside yen san tenase yen sinkonwa nimde for momremra na nimisisu dua pamacho me maame a oton tomatoes wo dwamu no yen fa no mbeka ho ma se ne epese ye wadwe ne sen how be na de bebrew na ya chirimu achire omo so that at the end of the day mpapa wodo ne kokoo baabi mpapa wodo ne bayire anane nkachie o baabi yen fa no mbeka ho bi omo kura beba be kan say oh enkachia school feed na mo ye no moma ya yenye yekua ye benya nananom atena konwa beba betima be jepene say he me ha Eastern region memma mo asase momfa nyekua na momfa mbo schools no ana secondary school ewo Eastern region ana mikrom kentampo nananom betima ka say he mombeji asase o ha kentampo senior high mo amunye mo afuo na yenja aban sika wo yusu kramo ne noma no na yendi aduane na Ghana na economy na say agina ne nan so edi nti na NDC epese ye reform de na sere say ye koye manifesto ye resetting your friends in Ghana ye manifesto mu a mpese me kinkan we kakra protocol mo na as a social democratic party we are committed to development of our people. We are determined to rectify the historical setback our citizens have suffered due to the illicit economic and social policies implemented by the MPP government. Our proud track record in government is characterized by the creation of wealth and its equitable distribution to provide education and healthcare for all Ghanaians. We have, over the years, expanded access, improved quality, and enhanced the general well-being of our people. We have actively used state power to bridge societal inequalities and reverse the social and political marginalization of women, the youth, persons with disability, the elderly, and children by implementing numerous social protection programs. The MPP government has paid little lip service to social investment and delivered little. Indeed, the NPP has taken advantage of social disasters such as COVID-19 pandemic to create enrichment opportunities for themselves and wreak havoc on our national institution. The next NDC administration will work hard to undo the damage done by almost 8 years of neglect and abuse. We will pursue comprehensive set of reforms in education that will empower our human resource within a decade. Our health sector reforms and investment will ensure that quality healthcare is accessible to our human resource, in health, long life, and able to live full lives. Medibesi ha.
Yeah.
We a problem I identify. Intina ma say. Yeni na yemra. Ni yembe koso. Obi beka say no ma making kan bebrebe. E di ampese me kire. MPP ba ye mfien watwen. Me education select committee member.
Yeah.
E di na no ma bi o ha ankoyie. School feeding. Ankoyie. In the say answer no be free aban mu. Omo ankrofo ebo nkonja eko minister ho say omo di omo ka na omo ntuanti no uko schools bi a ya visit schools a be na wotwe ni nyina nkola no ndi aduane. But the painful thing is that okwa akatuane de yeti omo na ebisa headmasters ni bi say na nipa no wanya aduane na wotwe ni nyina eba no say na mutua ne ka ye ni NGO bi Tamale ye call Tamale Lovely Minds omo invite ye education committee me na represent your side any gender they invited various committee members gender so nipa ka ho so omo na omo hwe school feeding. Behind the scenes, a headmaster told us, say, wone why na wakoka say sebio comfort to call. Woman organizer na wodi school feeding ewo ho. Osi wuntua no a the next no afraid DC and our regional minister omo be wo atikoye transfer o. Until some of these things must be looked into. Obi free work and show head now person or strict and say the next moment if you don't sign full period say wa no aduane a okoji ni sika ye wo atiko ye ko tuas kan so a headmaster no unnim ho hwe na o mafa chi na o maye
didn't just a corruption because of
that is what is happening there. Tama me was secondary school anya SS na me ko because secondary school and kasa. Who I said that na your palms card.
Yeah.
Say omo semi send team. Na me senior prefer ball secondary school. Omo ba omo je samre phones ni ho. Nti omo de omo number ma me. Say aduani bia omo de be ba school na anu amaye no. Me mfre. Samre ye yusu uko boot. No. Wow. So these were things are now palms card were no set in place. Enti school aduane omo noa ni wiawiamu a omo wia excellency jo mama oba na say ya woka say yemfa aduane nkomo schools in tem aduane anka agri minister de ba say yemfa nye drought spell give to ne omo fu say no. We say excellency by school so omo ni aduane and woka say hey momfa nkomo schools no no Volta region ya video bia na car bia ko loadu tin tomatoes ni no mo de akọ nansa ya no hisi amikan asate nra me panyi ba ko enya ema enti say headmaster bi he is about facing a challenge on this nansa ya aduane o mo de akọ no wono so
divert
aduane ni bia ko ba bi nti these are the realities in the system either ye political animals are more ye etia yankola any institutions no and so on and so forth. And you know reform bi a eba no yemfa ya ninhwe doses na se wa modo se school no nya asase no odo na duane na mo am de wi a ende mu wi na fo mu ho preko
yo mami bisa
yo
mo identify school feeding as problem.
It's a problem.
Yo na apart from school feeding no content academic curricular content
a problem because the teachers didn't buy into whatever curricular no so what I say training no was not much wako fa nipa ba ku mienu within na wotwe obekire omo no ma bi na bukrata na wode kwakira de no ewo he textbook ni ho textbooks are printed here Sankrofo nkola ye 35 ewo class a English 5 pe maths 5 ena me fan say core no science IB 5 way 5 eno no ni ana e core grounds no
anka ino fa hi
I'm out ye visit the publishers no
yeah
ni a omo produce books no ma no omo bebre omo so manti omo ka nti they were afraid to release all the books nti me sure say up to now books no be ewo omo share so a abandi omo ka enko ye be produce ye ba anko because abandi omo ka
mami misaw wo hwe content ni bia on say ne braso say nkrofo obi agetum say grammar education beba form enya technical education then na mo de ba be kan was animan area you
na me tie me papa His Excellency John Dramani Mama we are in a education minister aba nyina no the issue is that say your corner your friend is saying numeracy and literacy
okay
so what you say na hono ye hyemu kana na afi ye nyina ye gitum say Canadian no ne ye de be koso a ne yakoso then ya angel gbonu kan no na ye nhwe when was that I was listening to UPSA say rector no anahwan no or kire say no omo no they are tailoring their tuition towards industry the needs of industry
yes
and another reform I say ye hwe no nkola na ye kire omo ade no de na ye de ko ne yensu ye hu say na minua Angel Kagbonu ka issue about the use of mobile phones ne I mean sanka menya audio visual bi a abrofo no they are also beginning now to restrict some of the little ones to those things because nkolani be addicted to the use of phones ntotofo wapa no nursery for no or telephone no so ade a opese odisua na enye na odisua o hwe no ma bi a emboa okoje nso a one ni papa ntokwa ofie obitumi di niti kohwe dan sa de ntina o ma agi phone won nsam nti ni nyina no ya hwe ne e balance because technology no won nso so bebre nti content ne de ni nyina say yehwem mo na mo educationists yehwem lecturers professors yehwem ni o he na ebe boa ye man no ne ye nyina ye nkono faako na I get back to Mr. Mohammed said yemma the National Development Planning Commission at the end of the day Ghana ye nyina engine tum we nya de a Mr. Minian MPP for omoko bokweto ene ayi omomfo omohunjim minim say education select committee yabo yedin yeka ho ye both NDC and MPP now even an ordinary MPP person wo kroketua bia so a opese oba be contribute bi no ma enya no to say senche ayi na ye boycott no yemfa ye hunjim se na be ya wa ban ba daache wanka say wo sesa bibia wo ho se obi amfa ne hunjim na yenya ade ba kon once and for all na man no fa ne tuma pamfra.
All right, honorable sum na menko Angel Kaboni ho na mi wi ameba o Angel wo ho amamente wonka hello Angel is Kabonu okay honorable yentuaso yeah say Angel eni ho yentuaso
enti sa enti
wasamso
yeah enti ni ameto aso ni enti you say transforming education NDC meba and I'm still referring to the your friends manifesto no and oko page 89 page 89, 5.1, you see transforming education. Then I say, yeah. The previous NDC government worked hard to enhance our educational system through significant infrastructure investment, curriculum reforms, teacher motivation, and social interventions that expanded access and improved the quality of education. Our vision was to create an educational system that nurtured talent, fostered innovation, and equipped students to be globally competitive with relevant skills for the fast-changing job market. Regrettably, the current MPP government has superintended over market decline in sector over the past 8 years. Because basic education has suffered nearly 8 years of neglect, leading to crisis characterized by table 1, dilapidated structures and huge infrastructure deficit that has increased the number of schools under trees to over 5,000. The figure now, as of last year, NGO suno, CSO suno krema no, na 5,403 dilapidated structures. Until NDC has gotten it nearly right, 5,000 and above dilapidated structures. Until a problem you created because now your budget whilst your friends say about 2.something% eco basic education no. Now more than 110% eco free senior high. Sika yadima education budget no. This was what the system was facing. Assigned by 2, lack of textbooks. After 6 years of the introduction of new curriculum, textbooks yaka ho asem wa ha. Eno so na yeni e system no. Lack of furniture for over 1 million pupils. Any problem basic education so say. Non-payment of capitation grant for more than 8 terms. Capitation grant ayedima schools no say mobile bi titegu table and chair bi nadwa say amompe carpenter na wombebo onfa nadwa mbe susini ye na nkola nyankonwa yembo ho ban no 8 good terms na capitation grant enye den enkoye. 5 poor nutrition diet.
Na I am munya budget ma ayi friend den ministries any schools yeah approve budget say can efa he
no yeah approve budget. The reality and to be fair to the ministry at times and say the Ministry of Finance releases emba say ba you be capture BBA fe by UNESCO standards. UNESCO am a benchmark. I say yetimi diso no that is about 4.5%. I say yetimi ko but ni nyina no enko because Ministry of Finance releases cano
adentia
omoja say maybe other priority areas enye bi na ye konya sika na ye budget for your friend is saying okoka how do you be kan you be ko so aka nyukure na ye dey ko senke your friend is saying national cathedral wow no me say ye dey sika ye no ye nye national cathedral ne no ma na ye dey ye ni ko kire ye nti sika ne won meanwhile wanya sa contingency fund mu e dey ko boa national cathedral na education I say ye dey ye na ntotofiwa school no e ma ne hene so kama no ye nye okoba bi a sre uradan o dey call the pandais the bunkpurugus the even kentampo. I have not less than 15 dilapidated structures. Renovation works and koso biom first school dying password overhena contractor e woso the next moment was your school no fe up in na school down cry attractive to nkola no wa who school down mono woni krum or person woko and there for the past 8 years NC sa meme constituency frema bopa down bebre so including school buildings any down ahasa adiasa miensa metro letters called nadmo not even bucket eno mutimi maaye the next moment ube o he anadmo me train Minister of Interior made the question call oba parliament because say the much of that year na honorable ambus there or Minister of Finance release ska no mo release the next na me hu ni say na mo de da cars mo no mu regional nadmo coordinators na cars mo no mo didom inside say relief items or mo de be kwakoboa and that was what happened. And
that then as a parliament mu protect public purse mu ntumi nkasa was as a mu na mo twen den
yeah until my ya throw question dey o ba floor no so be yi ano
na we yi ano wi what happens
why na buy na eti so one wa be ma answer we okọ and some ma yewo another committee your friend assurance committee
yes.
Government assurance committee a parliament until at times almost from ministers and ba o ka so obeye e dey na aba at the end omuni na dwane the question finance officer minister of finance on release this cano but bi so omu release omu de akoye omu apemu de to say nadmo di amekan me samra me ko bisa me questions na me nya hu ka asam nso answer na MPP aban be free so no na nadmo national to your friend say regions no bia yusu ka am no
na we dey na hu say scan no wode ye
oh na me mako bisa me question na obe chire mu say the within that period of that year mo be sharp nadmo be nya ska to no ma amaye na emba ya say me mechanic say scan bi na odi akoto cars no
e bia na eno ne fi ba bi nti wodi jawe no to na ye nkoso
nti nka wato cars na nya no bia ene ade na wo ma relief items na nya kentamponko a un say flood na isi Volta region ene no ma bebre na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama mum no your opposition candidate one na walodo mo ewo no ma so na odi ko Ninu Ibrahim mama nyame enhira mo nyina ene ada mo Angel TV ne other mo sister stations TV3 ne omo na omo efre nkrofo so omo mra omo mbedoma na mo de koboa Volta region fo ne mmia bia kentampo mesumi His Excellency John de mo ne ayi trailer ne no ma e de bedom me wo ho so these are the issues that happen nadmo antimi anye nso nda bia wo budget mu okosha ska omo release am no e be yekpafu kama enso ade na relief items there na o montimi
honorable mamimisa wo kwa America wo baka kire say the American legislature no eye wo mra hye begua no eye unique ne den wo say se won wo hye mra wo kwa bonten ko hwe se mra ne yadwuma aya mo yes ade ne bia niema bi wa ma proof ma hwe se approve sika se nkwa ha wo education se nkoso aya mo de mani ko hwe se eye adwuma na
yes we call it monitoring.
Ndio.
You call monitoring. And monitoring I call say you call in group. Because me can say my first time in parliament. Yane Dr. Clement Apak no any education select committee in general. Honorable Asiama Mechiao, your chairman then. You call Volta and you call Eastern region in Aka. Okaya yani you call Koshe Togbe afede kuro yi a saa block na omo awie na djuma eso omum bie ma school sa yekoka ho asema Togbe afede ka se wo ma nanado mre bi se ombie school na otomane okay saa issue na education select committee ye na ye call monitoring ho ene ye ko chia na no ene ye nyina ye hu se school no na is everything is almost set I say ye bie ene ohene no e ka se omampanyi nya den say ahemfo de se bi omo kanum be mam o kai sa issue na omampanyi to mane no say and the ono anko bia na wonya de no wow nti ye na ye call education select committee ye na ye call ye sa de no ye na ye call hu infrastructure na ebia kawura mu a the TV camera di achi ye call ye nti most of the committees do same me can they say common fund I don't know whether it's the new common fund administrator need team be young establish committees no or mama schedule so omubeko most of the MMDAs no mark monitor common fund sika ye de aye especially among other things drip machines are or matter just build up to the election or modiako no monko ensure say machines ni nyina ye intact so until monitoring no be no apart from that MPs no so almost my kwan my ya monitor unsa na make say me constituency it mean who say textbooks na anko obeko school bi na nipa aduanan num na 555 textbook num English ye num pe maths ye num pe monitor na menya akwanya koye ya mehu say na saade no wo ho nti e ba no sa ye ba parliament a ye ma mu hu o kai say sports nkola ko gada ko foridua that year ena empofum o musi scan ho obi ansa nkofie wahu eni nyina ye no ma ba alarm light nti no you need ho you follow up na nipa no o kan o si se ya obeye ndey nti memmo no
yo mamemra Mr. Fumo say o share yan curriculum o share school fu a you produce na woni ama industry wo problem wo nipa na school fu na mo chira ngade na mo ba monten so djuma no krampo no wo hu so ni ayen hwehwe krampo no bibi foforo na mo ye na mutreni won mo de won ba sabe yenya won so mpa so entume mu yan saade no wo hu ne den wo reforms yi mu say reforms ne nya den wo saase mu
yo doctor we krampo na man che say reforms hu hia na ade mpo a esenka eba entem sinsi emfie pini na me professor Dama say hia ye no ye VC ana mbisa ne say na prof relationship ben na university no ene industry ewo and I feel so about the production of the professionals for the sector. Because now me expect say say okay, ebia NDPC universities no ya hwe bibia say okay look. Afie we ye be hia oman ye hwe oman no needs a ye be hia 50,000 10,000 mechanical engineers, ebia electrical engineers, we teachers, we doctors, we this. I see there's no linkage between universities and education institutions no. Which they say on mine no, ade be ya hwiri bibi pa. Enti which they say reforms no ehun hia. Enti reforms no etum identify say any mai. It means say ye bia nye say ye ko produce obi akeke. Aye begu say graduate unemployment. Ya produce on mass assets ka won so by umunya adwuma nye no mbu ho. The social problems eba no eno edoso. Into reforms say bibia no ese say any mai it me taking notes. And I feel so yehwe every SS for or maybe you go university you be on den where are there reforms you see me address it say omampani mahama e ka say be apprenticeship scheme bi with apprenticeship na e 2 ways obi a wantimi anko bi kura bi a JSS wantimi anya basic no wantimi anto aso anko SS nti bia kusua ade electrician fitting this that because say omampani kufo ba first no okaso be say ade bi apprenticeship scheme amanfo nko register e o Ministry of Labor won ko register ye hu hwe omampani mahama ba last 4 years e woni manifesto wantimi amapa wanti mehu wa ba say yen hwe ne be say whether it will be part of these reforms here and I feel so in other countries who say apprenticeship scheme bi won wo ho a etimi bua wo ma area ko ma fa no won hwe ama won timi konya degree in hands-on experience we are the be expert say be reforms no so e betimi take care and I feel say doctor ohwa basic level no there's a wide gap between quality of education umunya ene ne say in class for no your basic education no any krom and say amakwa say e kura bia say private school ho I won't provide transport e be fa won we except ba ade bi ene say amanfo lose faith in public schools adentia wo say quality na de ma won school no enya ade a ma omma etimi pass akọ ade SSS ese omkrofo a ewukrum we so say ade bi a SSS reforms no etimi address yen hwe bibi say ese other kind like Japan no woman with first class when a primary ade because you build a foundation ama ye de danasi so no metimi atoa so akọ aha no behu no obia ni ato ne da kwakurase oho na ade ebi krampa if it's a punishment into the quality of ade no enye na for supervision yɛkɔ nkura sɛ ɛtumi sɛ mmɔfra no tumi ɛdi agorɔ saa adɛn sɛ supervision bi ani hɔ teacher fonom ni hɔ inspectors ni hɔ so ɛbɛyɛ dɛn ɛna standard of education wɔ basic level ɛwɔ nkura sɛ no ɛnkɔ down ama private schools ɛma na ahwɛ mu nso a private schools yi wɔn teachers yi kura mbɔ pii yɛ ss foɔ kakra bi na ɛbɛyɛ retired teacher wɔn yɛ graduates adɛn na wɔn outcomes no ɛyɛ higher ɛkyɛn graduates a gs apɔso ɛkɔ public schools a ɛyɛ sɛbi book yɛntumi nkan book yi ɛyɛ adeɛ bi a ɛsɛ reforms no nso yɛtumi hwɛ because ɛyɛ saa no a it create inequity in the system yɛn nyinaa yɛ ɔman ma adɛn na baabi deɛ wɔn adesua no ɛkɔ soro ɛkyɛn baabi reforms no ɛsɛ yɛtumi address sɛ nneɛma yi then human resource teacher for no so a yɛkyerɛ ɔmo adeɛ no so no sɛnea angel kan no yɛsɛ yɛbɔ on skills no human resource development wɔn methodology na content no seesei no let maame ka bi kakra most of teachers na pii ade for say and others true ade friend is saying distance any ade but nukure ni a controversy akra we share some of the distance ade teachers na most one quality no sabi regrettably and enye papa in one book go school mu a na akwai problem e wo ho in the best stress reforms no these are some of the things that they say it
is so menko Jonathan Dr. Ochre good morning.
Good morning.
Doctor, yɛrehwɛ reforms yi na ayi mpanimfo akeka wɔn adwene wɔ ho. Reforms yi a NDC aban so pɛtɔ yi, uhu ne dan na so ɛho hia.
Yo, me da wase maminchia Angel TV ahwefo nyina na pay. Em say my late kakra ntino topper ana me de ema wo. The idea of reforms, so what is obika reforms, and then obviously there are inherent problems. Anunti and obeka reforms in one sense because se bibia which means that the system is working. But at the moment, the system is not really working. The problem that we've been facing in this country more of the politicization of education. And it's as if you say, we think the government does so well when students pass their exams. Education is not entirely about the exams. The quality is very much important, and the quality will have to be part of the training that will be given throughout the period. And so it is not just about, say, which should be the anything that you know. I don't think that you know, because most often than not, even in the universities, once you are done with a particular semester, now call the next semester. When you come and you ask them questions about what happened the last semester, or you are making reference to what you taught them the last time, they seem oblivious of that, which means that they have not really imbibed the education or the knowledge that they acquired over that period. So it means for necessity's sake, yes, you pass a grade, but not to be solid in terms of the content that you be taught and then practicalize it along the line. Now, let's look at what the NDC is proposing. Obviously, we are faced with 8 years of double track. This double track is the devil. It's the devil in the detail. I mean, how can you be in a school, in a system in which if you are third years, they will not even meet first years. First years may not even meet second years, and so on and so forth. This is very appalling. In as much as the idea is good, say, like the phrase such the idea is good, say, we don't want to leave any child behind. If you look at it, if we continue to do that, without, for example, looking at reform in terms of infrastructure development, then it means that cumulatively we will destroy all the schools from whether grade A, B, C, whatever. We will end up destroying all the schools because if we don't improve infrastructure base, then it means that, like for example, when you go to Agri, I was told You see that where the children or the student will have to, place of convenience, it's a problem. It's a problem because you look at the sheer numbers. If you correspond that with that particular facility over there, is an eyesore. So that is a problem. So for infrastructure, inadequate infrastructure, we need to address that as a nation. And this has got nothing to do with politics. Secondly, I will say a shared distribution here. If they will have to stick to boarding school system, then some community day schools no more they will have to add some boarding system to it. Then they have also been charged by the minister himself, Mr. Honorable Haruna, that they should equally look for sustainable source of funding. Sustainable source of funding. That, for me, is the most important reform that we will have to address as a nation. Very, very important. Sustainable sum of funding. When you have that, then it means that you can take some money in advance, build infrastructure, build upon the human resource as well, and ensure, say, that bridge, the gap between private and public, is bridged to some extent. Because some of the schools that call themselves public schools at the lower level, it's an eyesore. And these are Ghanaians who are schooling, so to speak, in places like this. I mean, in the 21st century, it doesn't augur well. It is a shame that we've gotten to this particular point. I think the other idea to which has also affected infrastructure development is the capping on the GET fund. So if they uncap it as they have said, then certainly it is good, because the GET fund now will have adequate resources over there to be able to stall project, complete stall project, and even start new ones. We may have to do asset and liability analysis of the educational infrastructures. We will have to do that. Or, in common terms, there's supposed to be an auditing. This haphazard firefighting political decisions of putting up projects as a way of satisfying the whims and caprices of a call from a community, a city, or a town, it has to stop somewhere. We're supposed to have a theoretical framework upon which we will have to operate as a nation. Say, okay, in the next 5 years or 3 years thereabout, we want to be here in terms of education reforms. So, so that decision will have to be data-driven. Today, you just don't do things haphazardly. It must be data-driven. The statistics must be given. The calculations must be done. The impact analysis, of such projects and also will have to be done, so that at that time, when the time is due, say 4 years or say 3 years, when the time is due, we can do an auditing of the implementation of those policies. I think that the very person that they have taken to chair the education dialogue, Professor Drew, is someone who comes with that expertise in an area of educational planning, educational administration, and then implementation of policies, educational policies. And so I'm very sure that they will have to be able to do a good work. Then Utimun said, Omonswa, Omampeni Kwame Asah Asante, for example, it's been very good. He has the data, everything, and he's always poignant when it comes to issues of education, especially the free SHS, its implementation challenges. He has data with WAEC and so on and so forth. So is it right that we have to procure, for example, past questions for students so that they will just go and chew and pass, and then they are just empty people? That decision, I don't know whether it was right or it was wrong, but I don't think that it is proper. There is a need for people to get education. I don't know whether the dialogue is supposed to find a way of implementing.
Our friend then reforms here. So a who here say jobs and so kahwana. So what training our friend then mpanimfo school fu na wie no adwuma ben na wo ba beye. Ufo say eno nso here wo reforms in wana.
Well, I don't know where they will want to reach with in terms of the reforms, whether they have to get up to the tertiary level or it is just pre-tertiary. Maybe some of the reports about whether it is part of the mandate that they were given. It is good to say you are asking such a question because what kind of skill are they getting, even if it is artisanal skill along the line in terms of mainstream education, that before a candidate continues or makes progress to the next level, if he has a skill and can polish it, it is good. Can give him some kind of employment, it is good. Here is the case, unemployment is still quite high in this country. A new government has taken over. We've not seen any new statistics yet, but the one that we know is about 14.7%, 2016 about 8-point-something%. So you could see there is that high percentage increase now. And that is the more reason why Utimun said middle level for money education to send nurses, training colleges near there, they were living in droves. Let's see how this reform will ensure, there is that job opportunity, even when you have acquired or have not gotten to a tertiary level, that job opportunity for middle level education, certificate holders and so on and so forth. Whether as part of the reforms, when you are done with the free SHS or senior high school for that matter, whether you have a certain certificate and so on and so forth, whether as part of mainstream, grammar type of schools, we may have to bring back technical skills and so on and so forth. That will ensure, in the long run, you acquire a certain skill before you leave, this grammar type of schools where you may want to go to the university. So it is a good question. I think that if they should add that, then we need to know how, in terms of the framework, it will have to operate.
So, oko amanga hurubisu education no what's a basic level no what's the a country like Czech Republic ubi your child or primary basic level no qualification minimum a masters inti onipa no child a master of a subject to say mathematics or a master English or a master one Czech language or a master we need a brass say sa foundation near build be if you say Mr. Fum Kaino, or then be a wisi na umfiase a foundation no any one down bebugu. Indeed, I told you now a basic level now. Teacher for now, sabe watch raden, one and one cresa, sabe. And into union is a brass say, a honso, yes, reforms on Yemamuya ding. Indeed, Nabo Frano Foundation no benyano, na bibi kakraka.
They are all Canadian and correct, but we may need to have, a change of orientation. Unfortunately, and then probably some kind of incentives are for starters. The late Professor Nonatus Osei, who happens to be my HOD some years back, often said at a meeting, departmental meeting, saying that he will always want to have his experienced lecturers at level 100. And it's for a good reason. It was for a good reason. Because, as you said, the level 100, they know next to nothing. So, but because I said sheer numbers, some of the experienced guys who are old professors, they wouldn't want to go there because they think that the workload is just too much. But it is for a good reason that the late professor himself always said that he will want his experienced hands to teach level 100. So every time I was part of the level 100 lectures, teaching level 100 students. So that call has always been, because this is a good foundation now. Unfortunately, I had to say, what call lecture late. Now, we are about 30 minutes to get to the end of the lecture. Now, we'll try say you want to get the understanding of what the lecturer is saying. And once you don't get that understanding, if you don't make that strenuous effort to go back and check a few things, then certainly you will struggle. And that struggle could continue till thy kingdom come. And so that call as part of the reforms is a good call. But it is difficult in our part of the world. Say, will be a ukitasa degree, no. Say, what do you call a beer incentives anyhow, resources anyhow, on your well motivated. I'll be building the capacity of those underneath, of those from the primary level. They won't go. They won't go. So everybody wants to be in Accra. Every teacher wants to be in Tamale. Every teacher wants to be in Kumasi, Tamale, and all those places that they will have access to water, good water, you have access to electricity. They themselves also be in a position to educate their own children. So there are so many factors. So unless the push factor is very strong, and that will have to come from government as part of the reforms, all right, as part of the reforms, before we give ourselves a certain number of years, we are sending people of high caliber with this type of expertise to be at A, B, C, and D levels, and let's see how the progression will be like. And I was said the data will have to be available. There should be an unimpeachable data that we may have to analyze. Actuarial scientists, statisticians, and so on and so forth will have to analyze all of these things. Then also we need to have this idea, what I call philosophical foundation. Yes, politics, etc., but we need to know the philosophical underpinnings of certain policies. If we are not able to subject the policies that we do to philosophical analysis, then politics or the political consideration will take the lead ahead of philosophical consideration. And I think that is something that we've all been lacking in this nation over the years. It is all about political consideration. How do I maximize vote in this particular policy? How will this policy survive me in government? Instead of building a nation, the capacity of the nation in the area of education, in the area of finance, in the area of infrastructure development, we need to have a coordinated framework that will feed into each other, not the haphazard, disorganized type of framework that firefighting type of development in terms of infrastructure, in terms of policy, and so on and so forth. And I was saying, a team making sure we have, a thorough understanding, a thorough analysis of the challenges that we are facing. And so I think that the direction that the president is going is good. You see, in all of this that he's trying to do, it is not skewed. It is not skewed. It is rather concentrating more on people with professional backgrounds and expertise. So I hope and pray that this type will not have political consideration, but in all facets, it will be driven by proper educational planning, proper educational administration, and proper educational policy implementation.
Of emphasis shall we place on this reforms, technical education? Say, na osha yemfa ancient reforms yima na dodoa na nenti ameka sa osha JSS concept here if you are na maybe a product of that na 1979 ye workshop and ye masonry ye carpentry ne ho niama akiri na Rollins bedang mu na aye nia woyi na wohwe saa nsanudwuma no wode mayen kakra na nkeboa enu nti nkrofo obi adwene ne se ankabeto asopa na say minhu papa if say kan wo be kaya na schools bi wo ho wo friend den say school yi kukrantumi St Paul's no Koforidua Technical Institution say schools no say won ahoden te den if say na schools ejina on nan so papa wo ba monten so ya wo ye niema ene wo hwa reforms na yemfe ngani nchire technical ho nso na munye den ana bribi mitie professor from Pomboaten na oka kasa bi a eka mekoma o so mani ne ye ya wo ho kura ne se yentumi nye basic machines and tools a ye hia wo yen abrabom o se helpa na helpa mfiri bi a ye di twitwa niema ye di ye niema abuabua ye ho yentumi nye wo hwe reforms ya ye saa ne mekan ye hia wo mpa
anything my middle level, creative middle level professionals, mutimi manufacture niema bakumi no eboa. Unfortunately, no timu say it is just like an outlier. I quite to say people rather learn these things on the field instead of in classrooms. And Ubehun say, Sani way to say Biawako magazine. Waswame, whom say these technical skills are there. People molding something, certain things from the scratch. And in the end, they're able to do fascinating things. We call most of this compare, you see things of that nature. So, important say the account. It cannot always be grammar. It cannot always be grammar because I think that the grammar schools rather leading more into the creation of unemployment because we are a white collar job. They want to be in the office. And then it's not a matter of they creating their own jobs, forming cooperatives and creating their own jobs, assessing credit so that they will create their own jobs and equally train other people. But rather, the government will have to employ them. So adding that as part of the dialogue and then reforms, that is not a bad idea. I don't know the status or the state of TVET and whether we can have data to show, say, TVET now, they are free SHS, no. A team will produce this level or middle level kind of people who have artisanal skill and Omankasa with little capital and they're able to, set up their own small companies here and there. And then they will equally be part of the mainstream manufacturing industry, but maybe Neman kitchen, their support to them, then they can equally build their family. If we're able to do that in itself, will also serve as a source of revenue for government because they will be paying certain taxes and so on and so forth. And it is better late than never. I think that they may also have to make that consideration as part of a comprehensive educational reform. Now, it shouldn't be theoretical. No, we may have to give ourselves a certain period of implementation. Then, after that, we'll look at the implementation, the challenges thereof, and then assess the impact of the reforms that would have come out.
Yo, Mpacho Besumansa, Namen call Dr. Wiafia Kenten. Doctor, Machien. Dr. Wiafe, Machien.
Any amajoso.
Yo, no name.
A jana domehoye, Moswe.
Oh, Yahuye. Doctor, Abeni, actually, say, also your reforms, with education, no. You, reforms or no. On Fias away he, no from good doing. Over university, my mimisa. Reforms he, Koso war, opposite ye, then pan and we hearing. Woma, it is a 1 hour back continent, and this is what you refuse rather.
Medasinia, and Mumashia, and once you say, dear, or maybe the work can near ma. Ebi kanya eka ho bi ti se ho na yesu yenye nimu de nsa no de adwemu de sɛne yɛtoto yɛ ano biribiaa ɔman nso so reforms bebree educational one akɔ so from even pre-colonial time or pre-independence to date. Na nea mɛka ne sɛ yɛdu baabi nti ɛsɛ yɛtoa so. Mekae sɛ President Kufuor de biribi started from creche ɛkɔ akɔsi attend SHS. Nti me so mema dwe a mɛka sɛ ɛsɛ fi hɔ. He says, a mabibri a juma either formal or informal sector. To do baby no kwejuma. A juma muho, na baby a bang, a jomuho, na baby or one. I say baby ben hoa. Ubit me then a back or you're comfortable. And you say, more for your titium. Omu nimudia, omu abadae, omu de beshenkora. Na a bus answer a number of nkwara. Unse u ekono, sabi a crash and katinkitino, motofuano. Do a 9 na assistant back attendance and 9 view attendance INs now move overall supervisor. It is Sandy many young Kobase crash na do me no do more tree a do you be if you a teacher back up honey and yenesa. In Tessa, members of the fret go for dear war education at all levels will be added and dream betua until fifth crasher. Na the above is for the kindergarten, but numbers in the number of nkwara so munya teacher for announces for assistants. They do how kwa send nkwara ni gumu teacher bako teacher me no. If you class 1 could see class 3 or no so no, and also dear home to see follow so that class size and say yes see I went to me watch anana de by a program where I said Dahwa or no so Yankofua Yedison Sabrino or no betwaso. Ukwa primary and no say you implement it so that class and non koyebi. A basa teacher phoning to me mankorana assignment. Omun to me whom ye individual. It who say we ni how ni we ni kankoni we ni we be do baby ama be talent asiego. Obi hunu na a yekrem. In Tremukra na chese do no anke with me ayeno. If you are Emra JHS, the Honso, with this attention, or you bit me, I know, but as a class size and not sub a unity here, the same thing go SHS. But go SHS class, class back 60, 75. And no action, I see a share at Shred for no so. Omuna, I got a tinkorana. Omu dear, Omabadaye. You can't be because training a professional. These are no granting and licensure and near my buy. A fraud professional and fraud. A true nimudia. A treseni, I wouldn't know Jumana Senate. Yes, we answer so ye, yes, I'll catch that Koran, yes, I won't can. Teacher be of honors or backlash Nakara, I wouldn't mean Kaya Nabi be some of the catcher on all day over 7. I will grab it school. And Nunina, there should be a way of assessing. Some Korano class, the CBNB, senior university student assessing lectures at the end of every semester. A beboa. A bemobia, I want it too. So, about more than you be able to show it, but show a betty, over him, send me a beboa me. And ne senior as the Americans say, is it by the book, according to the book, in the book. If you are, Nayaba. And Sanwa Jumadi technical and all that say for TVET in Niama. A young pop or my be a moment a middle level. On a year near my P. Sano, Nudian were in Sanaye, or your mason, or your carpenter, or your electrician, or your mechanical or castle. May I so say Mupi, who so go horse the same crofo PC than Yamukutugu. Omakofan Crofaba. Omune Baye near Mapi. And yes, young Crawford into but as I saw no wanted TN to bleed or you Jumano, this is finishing. No say yes. Omanin so daho. Intianity and Quanemo attitude, ethics, near my quick winner. Well, Manajuma, Okoto cement at Diano, near Sunday for baby. Of course, I will see that the Usika. Enti Sani money na TVET near mano. See, ye shemukena. Na kind ye no woman say, or what you accept you are when you woman alcohol. That be Obia one actually in psychology, and ye pet a war. Ni DNA, send you who nipper be a tinte, be any ho, be a honey ho, be so say, be so this son and you dear ye war dreaming mono. What how the mass man or better home females on pass it that. What how the subject women in fear say, but what the full manual or born within a meeting cacrebi. Tessie, yes, and then a medical cancer. Corane Bano, see a teacher for degree, in after so 4 p.m. identify now, be uncle for baby and Koyenia, that in a behana. If you are Yamra University, now me my dream, dear, will be a person of fat there. Academic calendar and the university should be basic. For be not draining in Nimudi and no person of Fahon. Apart from one person of technical and a TV and commercial near Kahuamakan. When you know, I don't be a tinker for university for Kraba, with Diminia Jumabia. No, we be quite training as a lawyer, you train as a medical doctor, you train as an engineer, or bar, even though our paper qualification, okoye internship, okoye housemanship, okoye bibisa, let alone ni our no, or be a political science, or psychology, or sociology. Ye train say ya man of fapemuno, unless opesa would train bibia within now tree me no chabo so me miensa wo train wa obi or analytical ayinso. Enti minia Dr. Kwame Asah Asante, a medical canon. I said, I make sure so that the next 5-10 years will be a to the educational system. No, maybe my mention for back. Can say your IT? Oh, we are saying, I said, won't handle any aspect of IT or a handicap. Now, most airport to do will be uncle check you. One uncle will be you won't me and be a wall. And you may be banking one. You can also see a ship. When yet science student class, if you are physics student, and I say when you're Legona, when you're computer science, and now those you have basic things. I see IT no be any day. Then you usually ask you Legon, work critical thinking. You know, it's some basic of it. They should be compelled to learn so they are able.
Doctor, should be to say, Ejuma, near working. Was a worker carry funo, worker had a dampang out than a better so. Watch lecture Mufreya, the one fanted to Pem. Only political science, your 5,000 students. Maybe 1,000 a year about one thing, psychology, more baby, and a neck account. We are then Wababe. Some contain and matter forms in Mana. Young Wana.
Except boom, pepe. Now, or how can cry, ye won't no say. Ubi so say we university, you know, and so about time. No koya Benjamin. It is here the entrepreneurship. I can't IT no one and near my P is a we political science, we are religion, we are psychology. And near my so says a at the camp one. So that we the dubia beba, maybe any mummy and sabit near your moment, no more sanko for. The Cobas will be a niche. Kwame wouldn't make stand about public service and now Benjamin. A coming Kwanka after from civil service specific and a few public sector. You may be a young crankre, and from Mount Crackram. If you say Sequoia by the a Tommy beer, almost dear Nimuno, as a woman papa, and as I say, or Sebi or Mosso, it will name dear, I will see whom. So your person and told me be a would diminish. We will not be na a Benjamin to do no a book. And to say, yes, sir, the moment who far apart from me almost an American IT entrepreneurship, basic near may be a bit warmer business. In your 10 years, will be invested about name 3 to be critical job. And also, Chess or moving here, Sikaboting, I have a friend of capital. You want to be over your capital, CB, and there's a bunch of it. Me, I BB say yes, say bank. I'll be on my friend. Say DB on bit media to so. Now and also any uncle bank consortium be 10 years. You can't acquire on bit me. The Koya buying the Ekosimu. engineer aban de nipa ne ntua nti adwuma sɛm de ɛyɛ na yenya babum bebre wo mam na adwuma ni ho a ɛyɛ asɛm man psychology be one model is a frustration aggression hypothesis. Told me be frustration about such people no bet me say my way school my ready say my adwuma ni ho with the feel inside tie we am nam anopa nam anwumre fifire makot interview bebre ma edu ba bia na asset on agent some when you pass no mental health cry and your papa graduate no doso and I remember every instance that told me be a woman no papa share we university I'm teaching on more room be a kakra ho no me dia ntinka when ya bi pra ma omo busumi dia come expect say we school fee ni yensan na that so tio to such people no it can move from ordinary problem from unemployment to national security. Wo nipa bebre bapum ahoden wo ho na wonya djuma ti ese e fa kwan so sa discussion no be kwa deliberation no ese no so ye key about the apex we from crash ho no be university level a ese eno so to aso mi wi a den se ma wi first degree se ma wi masters MA MPhil or PhD or job creation here. And yes, I do baby so no. The mabuno do no munya kwan a umbe fi ha. O fi ha. Be do fi ha. E bi emunum de omumma. Bo okra o ma biu. Na ye human resource aye training no. Koka but the other year me say I started. The moment say san to aso. Countries they bring nya certain profession. Nurses does that. Ye training do no na officially no yem fasa nkrofo no so nko aman omu aban aye krata ni bibia yetua o kase aban di obenyani ana oman ni di obenyani eno so another angle aye kwa ebeboa ma nipa dodo no a omunya adwuma nye no so beti Ghana ya da ba ko so ye ko adwuma unfortunately no I say CBR resource in any ho now whether no and the way you who no say and no the encrofu bi na ye no jama mabum pi mpe hoko say baby a wokọ as when you scan out the chassis a ubenya sika no wa fa nkrofo nso ebedi yi beba
doctor mama misa sa asemu yi wo hwa empeng bebre no okọ aman ahoro aso ya won akọ anim wo abraboma me kire developed countries na ho ne ma internship ade ehu hia pa me ko Switzerland na me hu se school fo ya makwan a obiara ko internship okọ owo WTO okwa ha wo je letters ahoden so na wokọ na wokonya experience 3 months waba wasanga tuatua another term wakonya 3 months obewie school no experience bebre enunti wukese wohwehwe obi afa no wadwuma mu owo experience afe mfie bien ebiesa obi kakra o de bekyerɛw afi ema ho opportunity ma owo sa adwuma na owo mu no oye internship wo hon ne supervisor ehun se oye enunti yebetumi kura ne na ye adwuma na ma hwɛ ehun se sa ade na bua pa me call me wie legon me kyerɛw application 50 manya adwuma enunti me fa me bag se Meko School of Journalism. Akoye diploma in journalism. Adding tia. Na mahwese menya adwuma na if say minimum say ho no uku school 1 year after 1 year no ubekwa akoye practical attachment. Na me ye na me bo me homoden a menya adwuma. Meko ho na menenema na mekonya adwuma ewo Ghanaian Times. Minwie school no. Ghanaian Chronicle. Minwie school kra. Environmental check. Enu nti utumi say internship hu hia pa. So wo hwe nwuma ahoro lawyers pupillage ukoye internship any other professionals we feel say sa new curriculum ye here internship say ye program e say me na ye nim say university experiential learning edu ba bi kura ye nipa ba bi mfa wonko enkoye wo gye say internship na hu hia pa
na me de say Kwame wodi we ab or bisa so we kai last year University of Ghana VC a commission, and I Adamfo, Dr. Ridako. They're also the current head of civil service. It's near Papa Panti, University of Ghana, Husa, Amaya Yamas, see corporate bodies be brave. She send a school for beating Yako. To make Jana was to crack, I say, we are uncrown what you moan. Say my crew, say my crew, say saying, who contact University of Ghana, say, Oba Boasa a year. Intensive here, who call for a near Juman and Kwan and work culture, work ethics. I say, Ubejuma Brano, Ubejuma, yes, we way, and you be behind a two Juma, you be behind so I could try a picture. They are sending. Bejina we so near Mranti and near Mabawa and so it from maybe a Mubejuma. Bibia na screen Nikita. Screener make a handset, the phone. But private companies be won't mean Twitter phone. Say you break time, Debbie. Call square being allowed. And see, Sunny money na here. And no go back to Niamika and say, I bet you money yes, because I bet you with me got a call by 9 o'clock. We do a graphic of kind of Bible. And then the Quran. Break time or call the bell 1 hour come. A boba ye or call. A idea a Kosovo baby. Private sector wouldn't mean yes, sir. And the intensive dear Yapa, a bet in Koketi war, Yankara no to watch send a quadrumua ye, near near set, near fata. Bibia me 400 students, call last second semester now. Last but one last day, I made 2 of them. So you are now living the 4 corners of the university, entering the world of work. A Habra Bono Unku. If you are on internship pain, now when you do pay, no, who can go you kunta and say, now 50 degrees, baby, no view, who are nippings was fear Jumanoka with the Muslim. Intimania internship need dear. And say, almost discuss it, no more finding where a binding super bois. A bit media started from universities. As much as possible, 4 years on best spending, and now more could beyond 4 years. No, we not cumulatively when you're 6 to 9 months there. Wenya. To read Mamuno, or idea that send me.
That about it. But funding, mano, a debate, education, ama aspirate to other sectors. Yeah, but at the SSS, free SSC, Mete say, at the oil revenue in the bay. Into Mua, near say, annual budget funding amount aye petrol revenue ade no eno na ye de beye yem fan say ye de ye crampo ye de get fund so na beye eduru time bi no ye say get fund ya capo eduru bi yes okay they call other areas oil fund the oil enya de o hati ba etimisa enti esa na ye nden enti mesre say ye education reforms no ye hwe economic reforms a ebetimi ama oman ni nyina agyan na so a edube a plan aye bibia because untimi enka say ade teacher for enko enkurase to help bridge the education gap between rural areas any ade insuo ni ho electricity ni ho ekwan ye enti ye say oman development so efa ho na say edimi develop ho nyina teacher no ko ha no say aha me kwa menye school ama me ba insuo ho ekwan papa ho virtually no esa say technology happen say do ote ho a onimi so ote nkran enti obekọ na ni output no ebeboa ama ade education gap no etime bridge na senior enkurase education level say eho no eni krom de so aye pepepe ena fe so yenhwe ade monitoring evaluation yenhwe yentra ho ma say ye education reforms eduru fie bia so ye be say biu say an ongoing program the program at no on monitoring near evaluation. And nya dia beka so government be by say oh ye be we along there yet shortfalls ya monitoring na wie ye hu sa ha bi ho ya evaluate ye achieve your goals and say achieve your goals. What do we do? Ye move on. And the message say education reforms say ye tie into the overall national development agenda e betimi aye bibia mama no.
Yo. Honorable. Yes, sir. Yo. Yeah, reforms. Yeah, niema bebre. Funding. Yeah, be nyawen. Mema question back on come. Who share school feeding? Who can problem on? Unye ni se braso. Say ye di shemu say the school gardening system memra. Deng tina meka sa. Bra me ko school ekropon junior secondary ni ye farms. Ye tumi ton ebro ne niema na ye de niema nketenketen. Ye course tech ni ye farms. Nti unye ni se braso say school bia wo backyard bi kakra fiase ye ebro banche bayere na e depend niema eye wo asase so se wo hwe na se aha ebro na mudua na bayere nye ya na yenkoye bata bi wo north nkoje bayere mra ana momra na wo hwe sa niema na unyi ni se ebebuga yen ama one students nankasa benya skills bi e bi se kan wo curriculum no ho ukọ ye nkokọ ye fish ye say nti ukọ prapra boom ukọ ye say na unsusua niema yiw na fe ye tonga ye nya IGF ebe hwe ye school no na fe nso school ni nya aduan di yiw wonye ne say sa system na say ba yo honorable
yo asempa papa me shall share from last question no on a suggestion no me call Bole secondary school na ye was school farm ye do abro nkate me assign was school garden ye master nyane ba bi ko Mr. Valentine Bonsuri nyame fani currency Mr. Valentine even secondary school form 5 now the year fantitiemu how to plant and grow tomatoes watch a pruning stage out be pruning be twitwa ni ti no amana atre bebre nti ene de eyade a yenya kwanya say eba back to the school system musa meka say school farms ebeboa ma yatimi ayanya good diet afidi ya mofrawa was schools no and you could say land tenure system and our population no treno nkuru nkese mu schools no enya asase ndo. However, there is that advantage emma schools no bi ewo ceremony ba mia bebre ebi wasase on betimi adomo wahu ebi wasase on betimi ado soya beans obi wasase on betimi ado aburo obi wasase on betimi ado bibia ena oka barter system no na say in fact say koforidu as a tech and almost to me yen fish and anama 2 headmasters in bit master we have this then also bring this for us to swap ebano sa abano ebreno ebeko form na entity ene so yanya bi as practical ndi amitiwe me amifie me tumi tomatoes from my secondary school experience minimum stage a mekwa akoti tomatoes nuti enyi sei no minimum stage a mete na afi ahase enya abasa bebrebe etre minimum stage a mede ahoma bebo no maye kotokro mede ahoma bebo no na so tomatoes no mu ede ne kosoro na aye anya abasa bebrebe it was from secondary school ntete do me nya agric student so but that knowledge aka me mu a me ametimi bom me de ho ban wo fie wow cover time me amedo nari the frɛ ayi akatoa nketewa no me do na me san do adua me ne me man totofewa me dua baayere me backyard me ana me bɔ nko fie no ɛyɛ bibia cover time na ye didi wo ho saa ma afi no kwa wieye you see baby amenya mentiti efiri no but obi nim sane ayedi adecoration from ayekata so wow you know ebe boy a very good suggestion. Our next question was on the your friend is saying funding very good funding need there the oil yedi free senior high attach your friend is saying oil revenue no there you disastrous you nya dwindling oil supplies into your dachi you need dachi. That is why this educational call for educational reforms say bamudende isemu kana because fango no enya afebo and an say crowd has a taro oil ne other companies na binumu ya pack off anameboa nti no we nyina kire say ye fa pema ye de sha say ye de ye you know etochima kakra nti funding no say ye share other sources say bamudende aminim say aban ye hwe na sese kura akwan bamu a pese me a statement on the need for agent health security funding. Are you getting me? A call for agent health security funding because they say General Trump they say nano see US aid almost $156 million our them Africans you know em say free ho and I will share health sector almost $56 million and na ye be hwere and enye no kwa USA be boa ye pa wo Ghana nti anibre won nsemu no say ya ye di aduane hawo ye grow ye aduane ni ye di because sikasem e be ye den ama Ghana ani wiase a enye jo mama mfom so se bio enye obi mfom so Ghana ye nyina ye nhunu sa say General Trump say wa cut funded sika wo de boa bibiman a Ghana ka ho no ensibio nti ya nkeka yansa no ama ya nhwe ba bi ebe boa ya em say eden mama come back to niana Dr. Wiafe Adebayo and very good suggestions. I go for the crèche, I go for every level of education I watch no and na true sir na bibi ba metimu na me wo bola me be ya me service or bola secondary school that's my alma mater after my sixth form broni baby free US by or you ask if I say political science and whatever but later I can't tell I'm going back to my country I'm going to do medicine so me bisa say how come I say oh at any stage depending on the class you make there is that freedom into no can political science psychology no no for me if anybody who did educational psychology and not psychology in the university goes to do just a diploma education even 1 year program to have diploma in education tachia those people can handle those crutches very well what am I saying because at that basic level no nkola no here psychologists to move them on into life so until apart from going through the university and getting this no why not add me a UCC product your time may be ed social science accounting option omo de me nya education no degree in education no na me need be commerce na eternal lectures. You see how they fashion it out. Inti me co banking sector, me a business student. I make my function in the bank. At the same time, I'm trained as a professional teacher in accounting economics. It was secondary school, another BR. You see how the course is so nice. Inti UCC, I'm a double-edged sword. Me educationist, me sign economist, me sign accountant, which I can practice in any of them. You see how it has become. Until that issue of courses, you know, obi acquire raw course in the university. Yes, I say and think it through this education reform. What other course can we add to the person after we are University of Ghana? And now University of Ghana, you benya diploma in education at the Akano. Until we are NDC. You see, we have our manifesto says our ancestral exam good, but young fan can't institution no. What I say, you feel that you be no about your ancestral exam abonte. What I say, young fan can't we know when you ancestral exam we pass it, or the back out professional, you know, or qualify say or be quite cultural there. Until in fact that is good. And now yeah reforms issue a dia mahu me ministry. Me national service was room. You see, some of the communities, you build for renters, you build for family, housing and so on. Into the teacher ni ko krubi so just a watna, in fact say bimbila krum, now I call about 6 kilometers, 10 kilometers away, no cultural there. And then my time teacher stability in classes, a problem. But okay, nurses, they are stable 24/7. Why? Accommodation has been attached to the health or the clinic facility. I dare so touch my educational system. No. We should begin. I'm saying buying kwabebre. It be a community be a young science ties omo. A buying be mamo zinc. E be mamu nua. Obi ansi maybe 6 rooms accommodation. Assemblies no betuma taking it up. What you say? Now you may bosso engineer no you use your local material. Abayin be bosso. Not any stable for teachers. Another idea in here so that not teachers will be with the people in the community and the people can access their teachers. Now say be electricity so any idea ya de beka ho. So that every night studies the children can go and the teachers can supervise them in the night. Ebanisa quality of education you bring from the rural communities to match the urban private schools. It is true, say currently by the nature of our operation, you turn education and private schools to the disadvantage of the government schools, because knowledge, you know, you can't take it from the private schools. That are kind. Who are the teachers in the private schools? Secondary school leavers. I didn't know much performing. A constant monitoring and a constant attachment to the in school colano, because there be our more exercise almost every hour or market exercise or correcting colano. But professional teachers, you know, 1 year stable in that school, monitoring you yeah throughout the year. I can tell you at times yeah MPs, you know. Ye MPs no pobe huna directorate ni bi wona o educational fan no udi business and socket on crofo so omonje nko monitoring because fu no amba security supervisor wonya subvention for education director to hold the whole year ne akono director nko akora de monitor and so security supervisor enya fuel he na wode akọ. These are the issues we must look at. Now, teacher stability in classroom is mostly lacking. It's lacking. And I may propose to say, as part of reforms, you know, you better the accommodation akahwa, and now you cluster of schools are now you build accommodation or baby for all teachers to stay in and go and no near schools. So be bank school in crowd them or holidays will be home. so obi do afuo wo sahwe doctor lecturers wo ha omo mfuo wo sahwe enye da bia na omo ko sahwe ana meboa enti wo so obetima agya oyere no mba wo ba bia office o mbeko school no na watina kuru no so akere hofo ade weekends wo ha obetimi akwa aba na osuwa ko hu oyere no obi ya adwuma akra ha na yere te kumase wade ne mba weekends no woko ana enti sa mbati enya accommodation wo ha na nkola no assignment anaju teacher ne betuma stable no wa market say we will be making a headway enye easy sa immediately but at least yani sa na ekoso na still I'm also backing Sir Mohammed said ni nyina no at the end of the day National Development Planning Commission should owe whatever reform we are going to meet to decide on.
Yeah, honorable Mami Misao, bakwe being been a fee, menkobe before from. Osha, unemployment your how I bosso. We need say, ye bitumen so I am ready say, Yanshe, one I wet train one wa, wunya bibi, and yano. Yani amanga manga horo, a bidding como, I will hear services. Yet the bemahon. Na yed mama se nipa konako na ban so ye bibi kakra ya to meza ne sa ban de sika bi ya train won na we bibi na won so ye adwuma na won anya bibi wonye ne se braso se sa na me nyina ba reform se se bra me ya abofra no me ko school akropon no ye hu indian fo boy teachers wo secondary school wo be chirade ye hu cubans no wo ba adan na sa system ne yan ato na jejem about reforms you man.
Me that say. I dream pa big brain here, doctor. Very big laudable suggestion. Now no you're vetting. Parliament. You're vetting. Say my company His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Wabo Abranti Odin Honorable Ajekum in Kransa South. So about presidential in charge of presidential Minister of State at the presidency in charge of initiatives. We will have backlog of nurses, almost 2 or 3 badges. They are needed outside. See, no what say private discussion. What say Ukraine, other countries are. Though hot and some were hot, not only that, there are other countries are omuhia steel benders. So mono high sky buildings. Omu steel benders so oko school one co on their own practicals na omope masons, handcraft workers. Omuhia pa wa bruchri. Omuhia hairdressing just boutique keke. Nensan otimi botre yi ne styles ne keke omuhia omo pa wa brochire bibia no Africa abrochire for no hia from here. Until we should look at those things. How can we export officially? Because yet you ha o ko Dubai ni nkro babi bebira Arab countries no there were people informally or modern kwala eko omo maltreat omo yenua ablakwaso minister designate for foreign affairs on so boso so say you be formalize in fact say brain drain you be friend brain drain but we can turn into positive thing brain building ya the omu free hakwa ya monitor omo aban age omo open made in your house in Saudi Arabia na babia aban no enje no emfa ma so what I say na say bibi because nyesa babi so the treatment they are making to our young girls and boys there no enyefe but omo formalize ya na yi sa middlemen no afri ho middlemen no per member consult government na government mo akwanya certificate to do that na hu say ama efri Kentampo or Dubai and our United Arab Emirates or kita sa your friend is saying or sa abusian ho bibia to no aban asem yanisa say very excellent and seriously that's the way to go now.
Okay,
you will labor no ho labor no there you Africa pa matise Morocco Egypt any other countries sika omunya no enya de ketwa nti jaso ade say ye de kan ye reform so ho
okay
na ye dwene ho
ma menko hamano so na menko Dr. Ochire ho na menko bisan asem ba kwa bi na afei mako won aka no so Dr. Ochire mbacho wo so Dr. Ochire
hello
maintenance
Dr.
Ochire mbacho wo temenka
Meteunga.
Dr. Mamimi Saw, reforms, reforms. Discipline.
Some non working.
A James Sam. Nancy Yang Hunia, of course, social media. Bibi, Obi Piam, Frebi, fi school, Dangbis over her form. Ahuniama. Discipline. Yan who deng our reforms in home. It's an say. Ube training abofra tete no man tete opanyi na oni discipline on short chat say niema bi nso ni mu a ori nyin so abapa bi discipline den war forms yi mu
yo me no say I am go say Abraham din kan kasa no me wure fit discipline asam nti boss you am say asam mbaba kan na wakan ne akoso no asefim and I think those in authority will have to have a relook at corporal punishment that takes place at the senior high schools now. Education for fee say, that situation where a teacher disciplines a child in school and parents will gather some people, normally go school, that thing must stop. And today I am cautioning and I'm calling on the unions to also be part of this. If it is not born out of malice, but as a way, say, what do about frabber school? Now, what not by so but it is part of training. And quality and not form. It is part of training. And they say, teacher, ni benya kunya obenya bre. Ya chiran kwalaya die. Na omadum pempenswa omum penifo. It is not about politics. It is not about politics. And then, and Kwalaya Omwo universities. And remember, Yaba, they are all wearing dreadlocks. They are wearing dreadlocks. Where is this coming from? Copy from the European style. In those years, Nanka and Toka said, "Be Efria Bruchiraba," as a way of distinguishing himself or herself. Him for that matter from others maybe then the car biaba not washa somebody. That is what we saw today in our universities and probably senior high school as well. These young guys are wearing earrings. Lack of total breakdown of discipline. And that sense of entitlement. School they enter university. And when students feel they don't perform well, oh, sir, can you do something about this grade? Oh, sir, so forth. These things, this level of indiscipline has crept into the very fabric of our education. And I think, for starters, from the lower levels, corporal punishment must be reintroduced. You see, this idea of that is not the way of training the child. Talk to the child near there. No. Hey, and it is premeditated. How do you expect the teachers who are outnumbered to train and discipline these children? So we should be very careful the generation we are building. We are in an information era. These kids have access. When you Android phone or the show, by the time they get to the university, they are spoiled brats. So I think that the union,
Doctor, my friend, then many we him. Sir, you will be a friend. Liberal studies. Yeah, courses be wha. Won't you mention nipa atari obeshe no honiama. It's the liberal programs. And you be an awesome car. I bet na political science class. With my permanent now on the permanent. and Honiama, Sa and no, and also the Totonga. It was a professional programs or no Libra, professional lawyers, also law student, Ubeja Tuntum, and the Fita. But other places, and wouldn't mean show be say, Pamsata Risha, you would say, no one else. Sanyaman, reforms or no, then liberalism, liberal studies versus professional studies, one rules and regulations.
Well, but I think we have to start from somewhere. For me, maybe a type of winning, we didn't have access to those things. I mean, sometimes I ask my students in the university, say, "Into here, what did Namhel? What if you buy?" No, so I'm wondering, your parents will be a little above me in terms of generation gap. So those parents would have had those proper training, so to speak. And they looked on, you brought this type of hair to school. So if you're now you've been wearing earrings, I cannot give my daughter to such a person for any marriage. It won't happen. And you see, footballers, musicians, artists near there. All these people have had influence in the way and manner school for follow some of these things. But you see, it may take a certain lecturer to say, no man, no male wearing earrings can enter my class. It may be. On that score. So the liberal aspect now can sometimes, I mean, in Kano, can you wear a cap? Check at the Babatina lecture room, or be in a lecture room. No, Obakacha say each other, and I say, before I enter lecture where each other. So these intangibles are a bank account we've been looking on. They are now degenerating into a full-blown new culture altogether. That
So
men are now, braiding their hair.
Prof. Abavari, good morning, sir. Barry, Mpacho also. Prof. Yerish educational reforms, Yabobo Soya could do baby. Discipline, it is about reforms in Wana, and at what level?
You medasine TFO, near million pay for Adika Kawa, Salam Betty, Ita Otre. Menene ya juni through 100%. Improve the count. Unti new reformer discipline and count. Now you can't discipline. Discipline, baby, to school, they make up my juma, and it's a discipline, I'm fancy work. And no, now they be called juma, papa, yes, we disciplining Kahua. Yes, oh, ye be a wound to me, I want to quite so. Empo, so the two a post for a soldier for, strive for, the sedan, and you got training them now discipline be a room. And in Ghana, we are proud of our military because in said, Omo Koyoku, a bastard then crown money, and the castle. So, a discipline. Indeed, discipline, the idea soup and broad. Now, if an infant started, as Anna Emeniji, so very kindergarten. Nkwala mo kindergarten KG. Some discipline you ho. Most of our back 5 years. Now need to come go school. Bon say, maybe all come back as a teacher and can't the teacher see me and you say, and then I wo ye. Nkwala no. If it means as a level no, your mind inculcating some sense of responsibility. Discipline accord with responsibility. In this year, pair discipline. I found you so no. I saw related with national aspiration, national culture, Oma ye team ye culture ye de. A hifana ye pese ye aspire to. And no me man fantum. Mo ma kusia de o China mo ni Japan. Ko hu Japanese ntofona. There's more a code of lifestyle. Uko school, there's code of discipline. Ah, obesia akwala nkomiko school mu a ube mu se ewo ni nani ho. Nkwala da ni clean ho. Me mo ewo sa nkomo no. Na de me pese me katwa so ni say discipline ni you can't have holistic educational system without discipline. A big failure. And it's an America because lecture room na Abrania I be rasta why be so ye. Say your rasta no fear but me classroom me lecture room home. But because you see abebe you make say additional class ba be sia and say rasta no asem ye ka. Yeah be ye can discipline asem. So this one ye discipline na wo say hona remember say want to be near discipline with human now baby school you know because you are cheating now Brunisi you can't have what you don't have
yembre ayebe yebeda wase na bre semu no next time yenyambra ye no bakasa yenko Dr. Wiafia Akentenso doc mpacho wo so ya 1 minute Dr. Wiafia
yes Dr.
yo mpacho 1 minute a discipline wadwene ye woden wo ho ehia wo saa asemu mu ana ehia yemfamfi emfi aso wo he 1 minute
ehia papa o ni mu ye sen o nyansa sen o sen na se discipline ni ho a emwa ntino quickly bet me akasi nkorase ye school ni fi basic dia na se ho na ye civic ni o nyema bia bema yankra ye hu ni ye hu say wo society mo say ye see behave emra wo na wo bu mra ne dia na see ye twa so and ye koso na nsan wo secondary school mo no hadwen nti ye more counselors ye more teachers who pay attention na nkwara no so see ye twa so but na mo nya so twa at this level e be share mo dachi
yo doctor o ede 1 minute kete ma chemu kete counseling ehu hia wo sa ai curriculum mu say reforms mu say it is school bia nya counseling session wo boya mofra subject a wo be choose no ho niama sa de na hu hia na
hu hia pa na se o mu obi wo ba nye schools ni nyina na wo bi na se obo on so na o ye teacher and maybe o ma taking on maybe without the necessary background they say you know more upgrade the school be each at appropriate to their level basic school their primary no the JHS nya SHS nya senior university as well your counseling center in addition to say lectures and so your course advisors.
Okay, yeah that's it my memory studio Mr. Fum discipline 1 minute who position your own den
and say o man no nyina no ye jetum say e de an ye pe say ne tete ye mofra no na de ba ko a man ye hu say discipline any school mu a o man no enye discipline say ye hwe sisi a ye hwe emera school for edi e wo school mu say second SS for instance no about 13 weeks e wo school mu teacher for na virtually o maye ade a friend saying parents amawon na say yentimi an create environment a ebetimi onya discipline e wo that environment a won free school we are I'm not free awufofie abenden. Okay. A very worrying situation. Now I regret to say no. You have in parliament the grandpa. You know honorable. And you ma AC ho. You know free wa. You have secondary school na saying odogono you kumobi ho. You will be a daddy ni bottom. Salaga na saying. Mekai grandpa said there be a mekai me 1965. Ebuakwa State College. Student eko to beze to okuno. Into a man ede na hia se ye. Ese hwe se awo ate for no. Ye hwe so ye awofo aye jam ofra na ma wo. ye enema ye be ya yebetimi ama oma tete emofe no oma ye discipline students no e hye oma reforms ye hwe ye de ye adwuma.
That's it. Honorable, for you to na summarize ni 1 minute. Discipline.
Yes. Discipline. Na hu hia pa. Na free hu. E be free fie no a. Ye nyem fie.
Die mfie ase wo fie.
Ye mfie ase wo fie.
Nyem fa nko school.
Na nkola no mfa nko school. Na obi kura mbisa hwan ba nie akola wanya ntete
na mo nso mo mfa nko parliament.
Me mfa nko parliament.
Na manko.
Sa. Wahu. Enti no ya mfa nsha ase wo fie a emma soda because akola no free fie ebia ne papa ne maame emfa nsam bi ho na omo antene no ho a wa wo kire na de school mu no obenkura no wa tweo like can perfect you at the end what kire no nti obehu say wo teacher ni no obe dan ho ahwe akola no sa we be free and the way
yo honorable
you say the free fee
that's it em say aha na berebe ma won ho kwan na ye de dwumadi na abawie mekai mo say wo pese wo sponsors a program ya ye manga na ya yen telephone numbers ni 0243 64 8847 mi timu bi o wo pese wo sponsor ye manga na 0243 64 8847 ananso say 057 3891 474 militi ne atuso ya bieng num bio 057 3891 474 ye ka kire mu say we will serve you better wo baha na wo sponsor when beje ye manga na dwumadi no meda etiefo ahwefo atse se ne wo bua na dwumadi course fefefe aseda ye mode enne bra mam amama nkire madwene na meje di se dasene onyame ma yenkwa mo be kire madwene monso ya mpanimfu a mo bua ye dwumadi mu eye Dr. Wiafia Kenten aseda ye wode mpanimfu a mo be nyina Dr. Jonathan Asante Ochire aseda ye wode Mr. Angel Kabonu aseda ye wode Honorable Joseph Kwame Kuma aseda ye wode Mr. Muhammad Afum aseda ye wode meka kire mo se ye di aseda nso remma ye technical team, production team, producers Grace Ata Fuyeska Eugene Osei Berima camera wonga wukura camera Sami sound Eddie and a director Eugene mentue nkuma so boya obiara oboya wo dwumadi so okwan ba ko na bie nso aseda mode ade enche
My people, good morning to you. I promise that I will be here today, this morning, to announce the winning numbers for the morning. So I'm hoping that you have played and you're looking forward to winning big. Welcome to the Mega 6 Games live draw. I will be announcing the winning numbers for this morning so that you can win some money. Are you ready? I'll go ahead and start the machine. Please be reminded that our games are always regulated by the National Lottery Authority. And it is for persons who are 18 years and above. Now, good luck to every single one of you who have played. The very first number is single 3. Single 3 is the first number. Single 3 is the first number. Single 3, and the second number is 36. 36. 36. 36 is the second number. The second number is 36. The third number, what will it be? The third number is 5. Single 5 is the third number. Single 5 is the third number. Single 5, the fourth number is 40. 40. 40. 40. 40. Now 2 more numbers to go. 2 more numbers to go, and the fifth number is 45. 45. 45. 45 is the fifth number. 45. One final number. The final number is 30. 30. 30. 30. 30 is the sixth and final number. 30 is the sixth and final number. All the numbers are out. I will announce the numbers again in order of appearance. The very first number is single 3. 3, single 3. So if you played single 3 for direct 1, congratulations, you have won. The second number is 36. 3, 6. The third number is 5. Single 5. The fourth number is 40. 4, 0. The fifth number is 45. 4, 5. The sixth and final number is 30. 3, 0. 30 is the sixth and final number. Congratulations to you, my mega winners. Congratulations to you on winning the Mega 6 games. Congratulations. Keep winning. Keep enjoying your wins. Go and tell the whole world that you just won big with Mega 6 games. Yes, you watching me out there. You could not win because you did not even play. Why did you not play the Mega 6 games? We offer you a chance to win up to 1 million Ghana cedis. We are talking about 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, up to 1 million Ghana cedis, and you can win because every single day people keep winning big every single time. So I'm encouraging you, please play the game by dialing *266#, *266#, or please download the Mega 6 app. It's on Apple App Store and Play Store. Now, if you have any questions, if you have any inquiries, please feel free to call us. Call us on 030-824-9449. The number is on your screen. Feel free to ask us any questions. Keep your calls coming through. Remember that our draws are always streaming live on Facebook, YouTube. So please visit the Mega 6 channel on social media, and you can always access the live draw just in case you're not behind your TV set. Okay, thank you all so much. Don't worry if you missed out on the morning, we still have the afternoon draw. It's at 12:50 p.m. I'll be here again to announce the winning numbers for the afternoon, so please douse the short code and play the game right now for your chance to win big in the afternoon. Thank you all so much once again. My name is MFA. Please call me the Mega Queen.